frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
Hey, that's happened, Stevenson.
Welcome to Football Daft, the daftest Scottish football podcast around. My name's Stephen Purden and let's welcome the team. First, a man who this week, his bed sheets have been out in the washing for a week now and it's really fucking getting to me. And he also learned Tam O'Shanter this week. It's Grado. Welcome, big man.
How you doing, mate? Well, first of all, I don't care for you broadcasting what I do, my bed sheets on a podcast. I shouldn't tell you. Well, it's just I didn't think you would take it that. I didn't think you would take it the wrong way like that.
It's annoying me, mate. Your bed sheets have been out probably on some fucking Wurley sitting in your back garden.
I've not got a Wurley gig.
Are they on a makeshift fucking rope?
No, they're on a. Actually, I bought a thing of farmers and you tie it to the side of your house and then you trail it down to your fence and everything sits on it nice. But as the rain has finally come on, I'll go out and get it.
Isn't it Mark for rains on the day, mate? They've been out there for a week.
Alright, but they'll be clean back, will they know? That means they'll be dead clean.
They'll be fucking stinking with fucking rain water. You need to wash them again and hang them. Do you know what? See if you
I don't wash them, mate. It's my auntie that washes them for a start.
Fucking, oh my god. So you don't even wash them, you can't even bring them in?
Anyway,
back to the Tam O'Shanter then, we'll forget the bed sheets. I'm going to put it to the back of my mind now, right? But it's really fucking annoying me. I would maybe like some video evidence of you, once we've recorded this show, going out to your garden and bringing in your bed sheets so I can sleep at night. I
can't guarantee it, but Tam O'Shanter, I was asked by a festival in Ayrshire way back today, a recital of Robbie Burns's Tam O'Shanter. Now, I done the old Burns poems at the school, to a louse, to a mouse, I dressed to the haggis. I done it for Alex Salmond, man. I stabbed the haggis, not that right in front of him, I think years ago. This is before all the glitz and the glamour, to be honest with you. It was when I was a community warden. However, I realised that... What? What?
Glitz and the glamour? Before the fucking wrestling and fucking Girvan and the pantomimes and...
Before the Stars and the Stripes, I did a thing for Alex Salmond. Like, he was actually fair play. His breath was honking. I'll give you that. But then his advisor told me that that's because he drinks coffee all day. So that's why I try and.
Did you ask his advisor why his breath was minging?
Well, I think she kind of overheard me when his breath's rotten, innit? And she went, well, actually, he drinks a lot of coffee.
Before you go, I've got a question about Alex. I've got a question. Yes, what is it, Graham? Why is his breath barking?
He was kind of like that, and she was heavy backing him up. But I was thinking, you've got to fucking deal with me than me, Darty. Anyway, so the deadline for Tam O'Shanter was fast approaching. It was actually supposed to be in on Monday, but I did get a 5-day extension. The reason being, I only realised a couple of weeks ago, Tam O'Shanter's 15 minutes long. It is the hardest Burns point today. And you'll know, Bob, I messaged Ian Robertson, who's on River City, and he can date, if you want to ever see somebody recite Tam O'Shanter, go and watch Ian Robertson. He's superb at it. It's like 15, 20 minutes long, sheer energy, whatever. So I actually messaged, he's good at it. So I messaged him and I goes, look, mate, I've got to learn this Tam O'Shanter. How long did it take you to learn? He went, about 2 years. So mate, for the last 2 weeks, man, I have this is why the house has been turned upside down, man, because I made a makeshift studio of wee bits and bobs to help me along the way, but I managed to get it done last night. And I'll just, if you would give me the pleasure of just reciting some of it if you want to hear some.
Aye, but not all of it if it's 20 minutes.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Tam O'Shanter.
Right. Are you going to let us hear a bit now?
Tam O'Shanter. When charming billies lead a street and rooty neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late and folk begin to tatigate, well, we sit boozing at the nappy and getting foo and unca happy. We think nae the lang Scot smiles, the mosses, waters, slaps and styles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame. Gathering a bruise like gathering storm, nursing a raft to keep it warm. This true fand honest Tam O'Shanter. I see for area nichted canter, all there whom there are two surpasses, for honest men and bonny lassies. Oh Tam, had still but been so wise. His teen-9 wife Kate's advice. She told the wheel she was a skellum, a blethering, blustering, drunken bellum that frae November till October is merchant days, thou was days sober, that all come elder way the miller, thou sat as long as thou had siller, that every day was cad as Jew and a swift, and he got roaring foon, that the Lord says, even on Sunday, thou drank with Curtin Jean till Monday. He prophesied that later soon thou would be found deep drowned.
He's still going.
Or catch it with the Warlocks in the Murk by Eloise.
Hey, Grado, that's enough, mate.
Cool.
Mate. That was good, though, mate. That was good. And now let's welcome a man.
Gentle names, it bars me great. You think how many kids so sweet?
No, look, can I just say something, right? I remember about 3-4 years ago, sitting with Grado on a Monday night in the stalls in the pavilion, and we opened on the Wednesday, right? And he's sitting there, and he still wasn't half the fucking book. He still hadn't learned the panel. And I've got OCD a wee bit, and it was really fucking stressing me out. And he's sitting doing what he's doing now, just sitting laughing, carrying on and all that. And I'm going, mate, into my own head, I'm going, this cunt's not half the book, man. He's not even learned this script. And now he's sitting reciting Tam O'Shanter to me. What a fucking... Mate, what a journey you've been on.
Cowboy, I tell you all the time, mate. I can always do it. Even when I done test drive, man, I had these learns to line. I was learning them fucking in the motor on the way.
These learns to line.
What?
You said that when I was doing test drive, I done these learns to line.
I did these lines to learn, man. I was fucking doing it in the motor to work and all that. Oh, ridiculous.
Honestly, mate, that is top notch what you're doing. Honestly, brilliant.
That is brilliant.
Thanks very much, guys.
What I say is, I don't understand a fucking word there, but you sell it to me.
Thanks very much, mate. It's actually a bit
Aye, we'll talk about. We know what it's about, Matt. We know what it's about. And now let's welcome a man who this week has been very quiet on the group chat because I thought he was maybe practicing FIFA, but it turns out he's not even fucking bought it yet. It's Chris Toll.
I need to get it, but it's... I don't know why I've not bought it.
And we need to get a wee Old Firm in the lead up to the Old Firm, mate. A wee Rangers v Celtic on the PS.
Am I allowed to have Ryan Christie and Odson Edward in my team?
Funny you say that because we are recording on the day of the big Scotland game where Stuart Armstrong, Kieran Tierney.
Big Scotland game.
That's what I need to say that.
Listen.
It's a big game, was it no, John?
Aye.
It's a massive game. This is to get us into the fucking Euros, man. This is.
What is it? Is it really?
This is the playoff game. So this is the first playoff game we've had since, or best chance we've had since the game against Holland over those 2 legs. Mind that at Hampden where we beat them 1-0 and then we went over to Holland and got absolutely hammered.
6-1. 6-0 it was in Holland, wasn't it? Mind Big Pierre came off the bench and scored a couple, didn't he?
Oh, Big Pierre.
His favourite player.
Big Pierre, there's only one Pierre.
This year when it was your birthday, we got Jerry Plinio, and next year when it's your birthday, we'll get Pierre Van Hooydonk code.
Fucking love that, so I would.
So would I.
Aye, that would be a good one.
God, I didn't think it was. I think I was on the radio this morning saying it was a friendly the night.
But another big news this week: Odson Edward has tested positive for COVID-19. Chris Toll has his head in his hands there. While he was on duty with fresh under 21s, Celtic say none of their other players have recorded a positive result and are now holding urgent talks with government health officials to determine whether or not the striker will be available for the game against the mighty Rangers. What do you think, Toll? You like the jet?
It just honestly, it just fucking adds a bit of firmness to my point for earlier. Mm-hmm. This is a huge season for Celtic. It's a huge season for Rangers as well. Right, and the international football is starting to fucking take its toll on the domestic game. See, people shouldn't be travelling all over the world, man. Odson Edward, if he hadn't to go to France, there wouldn't be a problem. Do you know what I mean? Mm. In a playing point of view, right now, Edward's a huge part of the Celtic team, obviously, but he's not been doing it the past few weeks. But as I said to John on Celtic Daft, he turns up for the big games, Stevie.
He scores against us all the time, mate.
You know what I mean? He turns up for the...
Mate. My mate was saying, I don't care if he's not playing because he's been playing shite. I'm like, look, he's their best player. Every time we play him, he scores against us. If he's not playing, it is a huge, huge bonus for us.
I've been thinking about it last night. See if Edward wasn't missing, if he's not missing, I'd play Edward in Christie's position behind the strikers, and maybe play Griffiths or Kamala if he's no fit.
I think if Edward's going to make it, which he still might, because he has to isolate for 10 days, and then when he gets back here, it'll be the day before the game, so there's still a chance. It's not official that he's going to be out yet. If he does play, I would put my mortgage on Lennon, Gunn, Griffiths and Edward up front against us.
You think so?
100%. I think he'll go for it. I think Edward, Griffiths, they two will start up front, definitely.
Well, Grado, what's going to happen then? You're the soothsayer, man.
Right, the way I see it, right, I think Old Firm games are unique in that it's happened before where Celtic players have missed players due to injury, but they've still won the game, been strong, and it's happened with Rangers. I think a lot gets spent on, this guy's going to be injured, whatever, but when the actual day comes and the game starts, a lot of that just goes out the window. It's a totally different game. Totally different game.
You know what? See, the minute that whistle goes, it doesn't matter what 22 players are on the park.
You're
it's
right.
Celtic versus Rangers, and it's fucking hammers and tongs all day. You know what I mean?
You know something as well? See, come in the next 4 or 5 days, I would also put good money on one of the Rangers players have got it.
But no, even with the COVID board, because our luck recently has been ridiculous in terms of players picking up injuries that are no COVID related, so it's just came at a worse time. I really do think it's.
They all seem to be coming back to fitness at the right time, but Grado, you know what I mean? They're saying that Barisic might be back. They're saying that Ryan Jack might be back.
I think they.
Jack is back. He played at the weekend.
Did he?
Aye.
But we'll still wait and see. But Celtic, in all news, have signed a lad on loan this week who on social media has been described as Henrik Larsson if he had been ordered from Wish. Other comparisons include a wee lassie back for holidays for Benidorm, a drama student and a backup dancer from JLS. We're of course talking about the new left back signing from AC Milan, Uruguayan left back Diego Laxalt. Is that how you say his name?
How funny have the 40s been, man?
They've been brilliant.
How do you say his surname?
Lassalt, I think it is.
Lasso.
Diego Graham Lasso.
It's Diego
Lassa. Lassa. No.
I don't know, but you're right, Toll. The memes have been shit hot.
They have been good, man.
But it's a bit. Do you ever get the feeling about sometimes that'll come back to biting his ass or that?
Well, do you know, it's funny you should say that.
I said to Nick the other night, I said, see all this? She was laughing at some of them, I was looking at some of them. This wee guy is going to end up being a fucking baller and have man of the match. He's going to put a man of the match display in next Saturday at Celtic Park. I'm telling you.
And all the Celtic fans will get their hair braided and all that.
Aye. And it's like, mate,
if I get my hair braided, I'd look like Gervinho.
You know what it's going to be like? After the first Old Firm game of the season last season, when Ball and Goalie was getting fucking pelters, and then every Celtic fan under the sun was called Chris Ball and Goalie after they put in a man of the match display at Ibrox. Everybody's going to be I am Diego Laxalt after this game next week. I'm telling you.
Well,
just back my holidays. Come on, but no, I mean, somebody needs to give a guy a shake. You're walking out to a press conference. Surely the press officer or the fucking PR man or something like that's been like, going to take his specs off and put a hat on, son.
I thought you were going to say, going to take them out. But I googled him, man. He's had that hairstyle for years.
I know. You know, that's how I recognised him, because I remember him playing at the World Cup and I remember giving him pelters for his hair.
He must be just one of these guys that's like pure, I'm fucking not changing it. Like he gets bammed up, do you know what I mean? Get that dealt with, get that shaved off. No, I fucking love it. No, what are you talking about? Your hair's stupid.
Every time he goes away in Europe with his club and all that, his other players say, "Seen you sleeping tonight, that's getting cut off," and he's like, "Fucking try it."
Yeah, fucking try it.
But listen, I honestly, God, right, I know yous are going to jump on this. Yous are going to jump on this. You can look him up. You can look him up on my Facebook. You can look him up on my Facebook, right? My mate lives in Uruguay.
They've all got their haircuts.
He says this boy is a fucking player. He says this boy is a fucking player.
Really?
I'm telling you. So just be careful what you're saying, because like you say, Stevie, it might actually come back to bite you in the arse here.
I'm telling you, he's going to snuff Ryan Kent out next week. He's going to put in a man of the match display. And you're going to turn up in Football Daft next week with fucking braids glued to your heat.
No, just a Sharpie. Sharpie through on.
Right, in other transfer news, Mirren captain Kyle McGuinness moved to Hibs. Aberdeen have brought back Greg Lee, and Jack Aitchison moved from Celtic to Barnsley. And wait for it, Rangers finally signed Bongani Zungu. Finally on loan from Amiens, and there are a string of rumours Jack Wilshere could be on his way. What do you think of that, Grado?
Well, it's kind of grew steam if steam can grow, especially in the last 24 hours. Has it got quiet now? But I don't know. Has it?
Well, he's and the bookies are still putting Rangers favourites to sign him. 5-2 on.
Well,
so,
he's out to 41 on, Stevie.
Is he?
Aye.
You go.
Well,
I think, right.
When you
go for it. Give me your views on it, Grado. Give me your views.
Right. Well, I just think it's one of the scenarios where Stevie G's got the pull, and I think maybe Defoe could be in his ear. Who knows? This all could be complete bollocks, but I think that having Defoe and Gerrard is a big part in players coming to Rangers, and it wouldn't be. I can understand why Wilshere might find this a wee bit different. He's got the chance to play in Europe. I know he's done it all before, but I think it's different for him. But can we afford it? I don't know, man. What's the deal?
I'll tell you this now. See, if he's looking at a deal, you need to be looking at a pay to play.
Aye, I don't think Gerrard or Wilson would dare it and put Rangers in jeopardy if it wasn't doable. I think it will be like a kind of pay as you play.
Do you think it's legit? Do you think the talk of going to Rangers is legit?
It's went a bit far now for it not to be nothing about it. No, I mean, I don't
mean to be one of these guys, but I was reading somebody in the forum and he said he was in the know and he says it's going to happen.
All right, well, that's confirmation now then.
He had a bit of clout and he said he was ITK, which apparently
ITK, that's it then. That's as good as a photograph.
So that's for me, I'll take that as gospel, to be honest with you.
What about we've actually glossed over the Kyle McGuinness. That's a good move.
That's
a good move for him. He's another one that's a bit of a injury merchant, but isn't he? He's missed a lot of football recently. And if Hibs are paying what we're being told that they've paid, it's kind of strange.
Here we go again. You've got a bit of bee in your bonnet with the old Hibs and money, ain't you?
No. I'm just saying if they've paid the money for somebody with the injury record, the McGuinness, it's a strange move. I
think it's a bit of a gamble when you look at his track record. He's a good player, right? But his track record, man, you're gone. Especially Hibs, the way they're playing now, do you know what I mean? They've got a lot of energy in their team. They're playing decent football. They're getting results. They've got momentum, and then you're bringing in a player like that. I see what Toll's saying. It's a bit of Jack Ross.
It's a bit of a gamble, Stevie. That's what I mean. But and also you've got the St Mirren manager saying that he's fucking raging that he's been sold.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
Actually coming out and saying it. You know what I mean? I mean, Jim Goodwin's he's no backwards at coming forwards, but
is he missing out the ball?
Yeah.
Does he? Doesn't suffer fools gladly.
Isn't fucking Menzies' words that one?
Jim Goodwin. I'll tell you, takes no schnash.
Honourable mention must go to Queen of the South. Who just signed. Naughty.
Fucking Tom.
Tom.
No, but anyway, everybody went straight to the shaming.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I went to Borat. I was like, naughty. What a signing. See if that's to sell jerseys, isn't it? Get naughty on the back of your tap.
Aye. It's a good move for the boy. Good luck to him. The Queens, you know what I mean? Good rep, the old Queen of the South, man. Gave us a good game down the lower leagues, didn't he, Grado?
Aye. Do good at Dunhammer.
Aye. Right, so on the show today, we welcome the legend that is Bob Malcolm. good friend of the show, been before, Toll's best mate. Wonder if he's got flumps in his van now. The last time he was on, he didn't remember. So
then he didn't know what a flump was. Fuck's sake.
What the fuck's a flump? That was one of the highlights of the show. But I'm looking forward to being the big man. And it is my turn on the Legends Lottery. And it will be a tough act to follow after Toll's legend last week, John McInally. Yeah. And we'll find out how many points producer John scored on after a last-minute punt by Toll. I mean, still, I don't know, man.
That must have been horrible, John.
Wait a minute. John's got a bit of a smile on his face,
I know. I've been crying myself to sleep reading the comments. The scores that have come in for me. So we'll find out what the score was later on.
And the new FIFA game is out this week. So asking you, what is the best football computer game ever? I've got a few there, man. And also question. With the window, that is interesting. Also with the window slammed shut, there is no more rumour mill unless you want to spread some yourself, Tove. Have you got any rumours? Know what I mean?
No, man. Want me to make one up?
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
So at Football Daft, we record it weekly, and I must admit that the show ends up being how long, John?
Usually about an hour and a half.
Right, an hour and a half. But the likes of the day, we've been recording for nearly 4 hours. This is how long it takes to record Football Daft now. And in that time, there's loads of gaffes, there's loads of mistakes. You know, pictures can fall behind the wall, somebody's Wi-Fi could disconnect, somebody's parent or guardian could walk in the shot. There's plenty of funny material. You can
parent or guardian.
you can see these bloopers. You can see these bloopers at the Patreon website. We have a Patreon where you can get loads of Football Daft content. So just in case you don't know what Patreon is, it is a subscription service that you sign up to, not only to support the podcast, but you get to hear us talk mere shite. Now, I want to have a wee shout out to some of the guys that have joined in the last week. Dylan Ellis and Greg Christie, they're among some of the people that have signed up. And we've set up 3 tiers, and you can choose for which tier you want to pay and what you get for each tier. So if you paid £5 a month, that is League One, and you'll get early access to the episodes. So the show usually comes out on a Friday. But, John, I would imagine that the Patreons get it on a Thursday.
They do, if I can get it turned round in time.
Correct. Adverts like these can maybe push you off and you fast forward, so you could get the ad-free version, which saves a lot of hassle having to listen to the adverts. But the adverts do support the show. I have to state that. You can be involved in a Patreon-only chat community. That's mean we can all get together and discuss and chat. It's like a chat room.
That's another thing I know about Grado. See if we get enough people signing up, we can do it without adverts.
That's the deal. You nailed it. Yeah, absolutely nailed it.
If enough people sign up, then we can get rid of the adverts if you don't like them.
Correct. There was a lot of people greeting as well about the videos on YouTube being taken down. You kind of get to see us at our fullest, but you can now get to see us. The full video version of the podcast is available on the Patreon service. So that's tier 1. Tier 2 is the Championship, and it's £7.50 a month. You get everything that's in tier 1, plus you get some brand new podcast videos. Only you can hear us talk Rangers Daft and Celtic Daft every week. After the football, we usually get together and we talk. We and Bob talk about Rangers. Crystal talk about Celtic Daft, and we both get punters on when we come on, and we kind of dissect the show. Well, I can try to dissect the show as much as possible.
Should be interesting.
Next week's will be very, very, very interesting. Leading up to the Old Firm, we'll also have teammates each week. Guests will talk about their teammates, and a feature we've just ripped off, basically Soccer AM. So what happens is at the start, when players come on to do the interview, we first ask them 10 questions. It's very much like Soccer AM, and you can see the 10 questions that we ask them. We ask them pretty funny questions with good replies. Some folk last longer than others. We couldn't get Jim Duffy off his the other day. In fact, we were about half an hour before we had even started doing the main podcast. It was the same with John Hartson. So you can see John
Hartson's was that long, we had to cut his fucking interview short.
John Hartson's was that long that when we finished the question, I think he was ready to go, right, cheers for it, right in the bottom of that. Now to the interview with John Hartson. It was a bit weird, but you get to see all that.
His face dropping, didn't you? You seen his face dropping? Oh, no.
As I said about tier 2, the Football Daft outtakes that I was telling you, I imagine I've heard some tweets that some of the funniest parts of the show come for outtakes, so you can see plenty of outtakes on that as part of tier 2. Tier 3 is our exclusive Premiership tier, which is only available to 100 members, so there's no very many spaces left. It's £10 a month, and you'll get everything we've just mentioned, plus a free Football Daft t-shirt. How good is that? But you must be signed up for a minimum of 4 months, and a feature which will be very popular in the next couple of weeks because this new FIFA game's out. You must be on PS4, mind you. You can play Chris or Stephen at FIFA if you sign up to the tier 3, so that's going to be starting soon once Toll gets his FIFA sorted. I don't know, is FIFA going to be available on a desktop computer? Can anybody confirm that?
Should be.
A desktop computer.
I've got my brand new computer for Flight Simulator.
Maybe.
Right, I might get on it and all. You can also be a pundit on Rangers or Celtic Daft. So obviously you get the Celtic Daft and the Rangers Daft, but you can get your chance to come on the show as one of the pundits, but you need to be signed up to tier 3. So you're basically paying to sit and Zoom with 2 or 3, should I say, of the biggest entertainers in Scotland's history. And you can debate with them. And so we're going to be adding more stuff to these tiers as the season progresses. We've got plenty of ideas up our sleeve. We're going to concentrate quite a lot on Patreon in the next few weeks, adding wee extra bits and bobs. So if you fancy that, get signed up now at patreon.com/Football Daft. That's Patreon, Papa, Alpha, Tango, Romeo, Echo, Oscar, November.com, and Football Daft is all in one word. Get involved now as we would like to welcome you to the squad.
The Legends Lottery on Football Daft.
Right, it's that time once again to delve into the annals of Scottish football and see if we can find a diamond as we return to the Legends Lottery. Each week, one of the team is tasked with finding a former hero of Scottish football and getting them on the show. Then you rate how good they were out of 5. We say Scottish football, but the last few weeks we've had producer John, Gordon Smart, and Grado's cousin, who was once a mascot at a football match. Even leads with 15,000 points. I'm on 17.2, while Grado moved up to 17.1. But it's about to change as I find out that I get a score of 1 for bringing John on last week.
Well,
So
I've had to cry myself to sleep, as I said, most nights this week because of the comments that have been made about my appearance on the Legends Lottery. Thank you very much. I'm going to mention some people here because they gave me a 5. So Ian Milne,
some people here as they gave me a decent score.
Ian Milne, David Probin, thank you for
They are pals, mate. They are pals.
wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Davy Provin gave you a 5.
Yeah, Matthew King, Ravy Davy from ICW gave me a 5.
Yeah,
Thank you, Davey. Dave, Matt, Gavin, all these people giving me a 5. Thank you very much. All these people that says, cause he's a Tim -10, so Grado beats him up. I'm not I'm a Falkirk supporter. There
Talking about me, John, not you.
Oh, right, that's all right. 0-0. Thanks, Richard Fraser. 0 Craig. 0 from Scott Lamb. What would have been better as a main guest? I'll let you off, Scott. Aye, that's fine. So, yeah, terrible score for me, To. I'm really, really sorry I didn't have your back, mate, but it's a 1.2 for me, mate.
Fucking hell.
Grado's going to overtake you, To, man.
Good answer.
Right, do you know what?
Best it was my idea. Just interview John.
Well, do you know what, John? See, if I didn't have somebody, I would have get 0. So thank you for adding that 1.2 on for me.
Thanks.
And everything you've done for me. Oh, it's Stephen's turn this week. Come on, mate. Don't fucking do this, Days. Who have you got? You've got fucking Ruthula or somebody coming on, haven't you?
Nah, it's just... You're close. You're close. No, right. This week, I'll be honest, I've had a very, very busy week at work, but as I'm a professional, I have managed to get somebody. I don't just turn up and not have anybody, unlike you 2 chumps have done.
Wait a minute. Hold on. That's no fair.
No, it's my turn to talk.
That guy cancelled on me last minute. John,
speak.
Chris, it's my turn to talk. You've had the chair. The chair is now mine. Okay.
Okay.
You've had your fun.
So this week, I have got a young man on who he's an actor. He's in River City with myself, and he's got the new Scottish movie coming out, which he stars in, called Schemers. And he is a very, very, very big, massive, maybe even bigger than yourself, tall Celtic fan. It is young Sean Connor.
Oh, is he Sean? What are you doing?
The next shell suit, Bob.
How is it?
You Bobby.
Do you know what? That's no fair. Look at him. All the birds are going to vote a 5.
What about that on Saturday night?
Oh, that was a...
Do you know what? I can't believe the two of you. He asked me, and all you need to do is lie sometimes. You see.
Grado, can you tell the listeners what exactly happened on Saturday?
Telling you this now, by the way, watch yourself because he listens to this.
That's all right. But so Ross, he says he's available for 10 minutes.
Ross who, Grado?
Ross
who?
Owen, right? The Ross Owen show, right? He promotes shows in Airdrie, right? He's quite good. He's had all his own shows and stuff. But because of this lockdown, Kieran, he started to do like Zoom parties and stuff like that. And then on Saturday, he asked us if we've all got 10 minutes each, right? So it was me, Sean there, fucking Artie for the singing kettle, Naveed for Still Game, Mina for Still Game, Stevie the Bookie for Still Game, Gary Mullen, Gary, what?
Sanjeev Kohli, for fuck's sake.
Oh, AJ for River City. Fucking, what'd you call him? Gary Mullen that won Stars in Your Eyes in 1998. Right? Fucking all the best Scottish celebrities, right? But the best it was, right? Me and Sean were on right at the start, and he kept his own for 3 hours. 3 hours, he never let us go. We had to sit through. Don't get me wrong, it was brilliant, right? Because Artie come on, right, and Artie's quite. He's come on and went, sorry, I don't recognise any of you. He's got funny. He's like, what's that? Fucking, you folk for Still Game. Hi Artie. Anyway, he gets the guitar out and fucking he starts to know his songs, but he wouldn't stop you. I like to eat, and I like to eat apples and bananas. And then we're like, oh, that's good, Artie. The next one, oh, the titty soup, singing for ages. It was.
Did they do the pirate song?
We'll go forwards, backwards, over the Irish Sea. Well, I requested that one, he fucked it off and sang some other song.
But... He's about his granny on the drugs. Oh, I can't get my granny off the drugs. I mean, we're all just sitting there. I couldn't. You stuck it onto gallery view and you could see everything. And I just kept looking at Grado. He's pissing himself. Darren Connell's pissing himself. I'm pissing myself. We must have looked dead ignorant, man, because folk were talking. But there was a wee guy that came in. It was like you could come in and you could ask questions, right? But you're meant to like, ask your question and then go. But he came in to ask his question and he asked his question. I don't know. I think it was for you, Grado.
No, it wasn't. He asked, I've got a question for me if you still game. Why did you just show your face in the last episode? Right. So she answered that, right? Tell him what he done.
And I think Ross kind of went, right, okay, well, you can go away and watch the show or you can stay in the room if you want. He stayed for the full 3 hours and he kept like, at random points, he'd get up and he'd go out to a different room and he'd start sparking up roll-ups. So you've got me, Grado, Sanjeev, fucking Robin Lang, all these people going for the singing kettle, and then just this wee guy in the corner smoking fag. Nobody knew. And he stayed for the full... It was murder, man. We must have looked dead ignorant, man, because we were just, every time like folk were talking and we were just pushing ourselves, man.
Aye. It was like being at assembly at school where you're not allowed to laugh and all that, but you're pure choking to piss yourself.
We should get Ross Owen on the show next time, man. It's always spoke about Ross Owen.
Is it my turn on the Legends Lottery next week?
You bastard. Right, Shawnee boy, how you doing? You alright?
Not bad at all. How are we all?
Alright, mate, because of the whole fucking carry on with the work, man, and don't get to see a lot of folk. I've not even seen you since we started back filming.
I've not even, there's so many folk I've not even seen. Every time I come in, it's the same people. I suppose it's all bubbles and that, innit?
Aye. The only people I work with is Scott Franny, man. I don't see anybody else. That's it.
It's Victoria and Michael. That's pretty much it.
Right. Anyway, so what about the new film?
What about it? Well, actually, I just got an email there saying it's been extended in Odeon Cinemas for another week.
Brilliant, mate. Tell us a bit about it, mate.
So it's a true story set in 1979 up in Dundee about three boys that are basically bored their lives, and one of them fancies this lassie, so he tries to impress her by putting on uni discos and stuff like that, and then they decide that they want to go even bigger and start booking proper bands, and they book XTC and Simple Minds and the Associates and all these big kind of 80s bands, and then they end up
this a true story, Sean? Aye.
It's all totally true. They basically they borrow money off gangsters to be able to do it, and end up in a big hole of debt. And to try and make back all the money, they book Iron Maiden at the Caird Hall. And if they sell it out, they'll be able to pay back the gangsters. If they don't, then they're humped. So
that sounds cool as fuck. By the way,
Mate, there's been some buzz about it, but I mean, it's been everywhere, man. It's been on social media. It's everywhere. You see things about movies or whatever coming out. It's getting good. It's getting a good response, isn't it?
Aye, mate. It's had a good response, man, and it's had good reviews and it's had bad ones. I suppose that's the case with every film that comes out, but it's mostly been good. It's mostly been well received. And do you know what it is? It's no a film to be taken too seriously. It's just a good time. Do you know what I mean?
It does sound good, but man, I love just trolling through, like, see Amazon Prime and looking up for Scottish films that I've never seen before. Is it going to be on Amazon Prime?
Well, that's once it finishes in the cinemas, which was meant to be the day, but it's been expanded for another week because Cineworld shut, but Odeon Showcase and stuff like that are still going to be showing it. So once it finishes there, it gets handed over to different distributors, and then they handle the digital stuff. So the producers, they're wanting it Amazon, Netflix. That's the kind of goal. But it's one of the ones. I don't really know how it works. I don't know if it depends how much it takes in the box office or however it works. But that's the aim for it anyway. Aye.
I seen in the paper you were what was it? I can't remember what exactly the headline was, that you were studying Limmy or something for the Dundee accent, wasn't it?
Aye. Do you know what the thing was? I never even said that.
Do you know what? I could put money on that being so true. You see, when I read that, I went, I bet that boy's maybe just went, I watched Limmy videos and then they've went with that for the headline. That happens all the time, doesn't it?
That's the thing, mate. I never even said that. He was on the phone to me and he went, I bet you were be watching that accent videos for Limmy for the accent. And I went, hi, maybe that would have helped. And then Sean studies Limmy.
But Sean, on to the old football. You're a big... As soon as Sean started with our City, he get put in a dressing room with me. First thing I asked him was, what team do you support? Don't know why I even asked, because it's always Celtic fans that gets hired in my work anyway, so I just knew.
You can tell he's a Celtic fan, he's handsome as fuck.
What happened to you then?
Fair enough, aye. Bastard. I set myself up for that there, didn't I?
Obviously, Sean, international break, but after that, there's a small matter of a wee derby, a wee old firm at the old Celtic Park. First game back in the league. Maybe no Edward, maybe no Chris. Well, no Chris Day, but maybe no Edward. What are you thinking? How's the season started? What's your thoughts? Give us it.
Well, I'm not. To be honest, I don't think anybody can. Well, no, I'm not really wording that. I don't think anybody can really justify being confident either way. Do you know what I mean? Because this is such a. It's going to be so strange. I think there's no home advantage really, is there? You've not got a crowd. I think it's going to be one of the strangest things ever.
Well, it's funny you touch on that there. I was saying to Stevie earlier, I think a lot of players are playing with more freedom now, that there's no a crowd in there. And that's how you're getting results like Aston Villa hammering Liverpool and Spurs going to Old Trafford and winning 6-1. Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of players could actually flourish in that kind of environment.
I think it's going to, it'll affect different players in different ways. And I mean, you go into the game, every Old Firm game is going to be nervy, do you know what I mean? The thing that I'm kind of holding on to is the fact that Celtic are getting the results. Granted, they've been a hard watch at times, some of the games, because I don't know what it is, it's not quite clicking yet, but I don't think Celtic have hit, like, not even third, fourth gear yet, and they're still getting the results, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of thing that I'm holding on to for a bit of confidence about it. But as I say, I think it's just going to be dead weird. It's just going to be strange, even watching it, because I think I wouldn't put it past more restrictions getting put on. Well, you're already not allowed to go to 2 households, innit?
Aye.
You're allowed to go sit and watch it with my dad, you know what I mean? And
aye.
So
it's a strange thing, because obviously, like, don't know, going down to Celtic Park, it's always a kind of hostile atmosphere for Rangers fans and players there the years, man, for as long as I can remember anyway. So I can't actually see it in my head, an Old Firm game happening with no fans. It's strange. It is a weird one.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to it a wee bit, man.
Because I think the novelties wore off watching the other games without the crowd, but this is one where you're like, this is going to be interesting.
Aye.
Really. And the fact that you can hear some of the players in the park and all that, it will be
I tell you what, you'll not be hearing any of the players in these games, man. They'll make fucking sure of that.
No, absolutely, mate. Guys, both that turned right down, man.
Aye. What do you think we need Edward? Who would you go with then? If Edward isn't playing, who would you up front have? Who would you have?
See, this is the thing, right? I said, one of my pals was saying that he should go with Griffiths, right? That's fucking ridiculous. Griffiths came on for 10 minutes at the weekend, and as good as he was blown out his arse after 10 minutes. He's clearly nowhere near match fit. And I don't know if Lennon trusts Klimala enough to start him.
I would start Klimala.
So would I, but I don't think Lennon trusts him enough to give him a start. So I was saying the other night, I was like, he'll probably end up going with, if Ayeti's all right, he'll probably, and there's no Edward, he'll probably go with Ayeti and Christie and Nuke.
No, that's what I've just thought there. That now eradicates that fucking possibility that we were talking about last night, John.
Exactly. So, I don't know, man. I mean, if it was me, if we'd no Edward, no Ayeti either, or, well, no Edward, no Christie, it's got to be Ayeti and Klimala, I think.
That's if Ayeti makes it back to fitness. But like you say, he's going to have been out for a couple of weeks now, so his match fitness might struggle as well.
There's also the possibility that he goes with El Yunusi up top. He's either going to go right. El Yunusi's not going to play on the left. He's going to play Taylor on the left, and then I think he'll have that lax out on the bench and bring him on if Taylor's having a rotten time.
I've just clicked onto something.
What?
Is there anything in you being called Sean Connor and Sean Connery? I've always wanted to ask you.
Sean, he does this to every guest that comes on. He always says, I've always wanted to ask this, and it's the fucking most howling question you've heard in your life. Jim Duffy was on last week, and he was talking, a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about Charlie Nicholas. And Grado says, Jim, I've always wanted to ask you, like, when you were younger and grown up, and now that whole, I'm just sitting there thinking, is that something Charlie just always done if he was a boy? That was genuinely what he asked Jim Duffy.
You must have been at school and all that, and thinking you wanted to be an actor and Sean Connery. No, did that never? You ever realise that?
But Sean Connor's my middle name.
Oh, fuck, well, that totally buries that in, doesn't it? Oh, well.
My name when I was in college. And
is that your stage name?
Pretty much, mate, aye.
Like Michael Parker is Michael Barrymore. Stephen, why did you not change your name? I don't get that. Pudding's a second name that's no fucking... You could have went to town with that. Stephen Piatelli or something like that, do you know what I mean?
Because there's no Puddings, really, so...
True.
Well, the only reason I had to change mine was because apparently there's already an actor
on
Equity called Sean Corcoran.
Predictions for next Saturday then. What's your predictions? Sean, what do you think? So I'll probably not see you in work.
I think it'll be a draw.
Aye.
I think it'll be a 2-2 or a 1-0.
What do you think, Toe?
To quote a great man, my prediction. Bang.
For who? Us or yous?
I don't know, mate. I'll be sorry to watch you anyway. Fucking believe me. I'll make my prediction next week. We've got another episode before we hang with.
Aye, no comment, Bob.
Aye. No, I'm just trying to see what John says, man, because I've not seen him in work, man.
I think you'll know who's going to win that game when the team's good.
Aye. All I want to do, man, is on the Saturday night, as you did last week, where you got me and Jordan on Twitter with a wee David Heyman style game thing. I just want to phone you and talk to you and send you messages on Twitter and all that. I don't want to go into hiding, you know what I mean? I want it to be a good day for myself, you know what I mean?
Aye. I don't know, man. I can't see. I don't know why. I've just got that feeling that it's going to be a draw. I think it's, see, because it's been built up to be such a big thing, because it's the first one back in so long and there's no crowd and it's going to be dead interesting to watch. I think it's going to be it's either going to be really overwhelming or fucking ridiculously underwhelming.
I've got a feeling it's going to be a cricket score one way or the other, and I don't know who it is. I think Celtic are waiting to click at some point, and if they click, it could be curtains for Rangers. But if Rangers keep playing the way that they've been playing, with the exception of the Ross County game, then what are you fucking laughing at, you prick?
But one of the twos are laughing.
What are you laughing at?
Curtains
for Rangers.
All right, fair enough. When I said that, I was like, why'd I say that?
You know what, man? Do you know what, John? Going to edit that where told just says that wee bit so I can put it all our social media, man, if we beat them.
You notice I said that if Celtic click, it could be curtains. I didn't say it's
you
gonna
notice I said to John, edit it in a way where I just hear you saying it's curtains for Rangers.
Oh, you bastard. No! Don't do that to me, for fuck's sake. That's shite. Anyway, if Celtic turn up, Rangers could have a hard time.
Right.
But if Celtic keep playing the way that they've been playing in the recent games, I could see Rangers running over the top of them, and that's the truth.
It's not going to be season defining, man. Whatever happens, it's still going to be a close title race this season, I think.
It all depends if fucking they shut down the football, Stevie.
I know.
I think. See that another thing as well. It's kind of. I think that Celtic are due a turn up against Rangers because the last two ones were fucking really, really bad. For a performance point of view and for a manager's point of view as well. The way that League Cup went, yes, we ended up winning the game, but he went out to Parkhead and played the exact same team, the exact same tactics.
Aye.
And obviously, do you know what I mean? So, you hopefully Celtic are due a turn up, and I think Chris is right. If we turn up, I think it could be a long afternoon for Rangers, but
we'll see, mate.
That's your periods, man. Fucking hell.
But you know what? We're in pods now, man. If he's beat us, a good thing is I'm probably not going to see you anyway. So
I'm going to start watching fucking River City, by the way. I like this guy.
John, cheers for coming on, bro. I really appreciate it, bud. Right.
Having me, boys.
Good to see you again, mate. Cheers for that, pal. Catch you after, mate.
I'll see you soon, bud. Take care. Bye-bye.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
Football is a short career, but what if we could wind the clock back and give some of the UK's favourite ex-pros at one more go-around? Yeah, one last match. Who would they choose as their teammates? Who would they pick as their gaffer? What stadium would they want to walk out at one last time? That's what we asked to club legends like Jason McAteer.
I finished my career and there's always that feeling I had that I always wish I'd won something with Liverpool. We should have won the Premier League. We should have won a trophy.
John Hodgson.
So I think back and I think, I've never got over that, losing that night.
Emil Heskey.
Going to Birmingham and it just wasn't the same. They wasn't confident enough in their ability to actually hit that pass. But Steve would just go bang, bang. And it was great to play with.
Season 1 is coming soon to Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe now and see why it's never too late for one last match.
One last match with Who Knows Wins. Put your money where your mates are. Football Daft's Big Question.
So time for the big question. So this week FIFA 21 is out, so we thought we'd ask, what's the best FIFA computer game of all time? It's something we always touch on this show. We talk about computer games, the FIFA games, but we've never actually dedicated a full portion to the show. I remember we've spoken here about International Superstar Soccer. I'm sure we haven't.
On the N64, man, that was the best.
Absolutely.
International Superstar Soccer.
Aye.
Brilliant.
And, because we were talking about, I think the last time we spoke about how the narrator obviously just got paid by the fucking word because he'd only said the team's name once. Greece! Aye. Argentina! Have they attacked the Republic of Ireland? It's half time and it's the Republic of Ireland. 1, Greece! 0. Fucking loved that. And the fake player names, remember the fake player names? De Silva was in goals for Brazil and stuff
remember
like that.
The big striker up front for Argentina, Bautista?
Yeah.
I remember Mehmet Scholl for Germany. He was called fucking, what was it, Mehmet Stoll? Some Stoll.
Aye.
It looked like him, but it was Stoll. Wow. That was the best game ever.
It was International Superstar Soccer.
International. Yeah. And they would get you, put you in situations like on 83rd minute, you'd have a free kick as France and you were doing 1-0.
Scenarios.
Aye, scenario
that
parts and stuff like that.
Man.
I fucking love that, man.
That was. They don't do shit like that in video games anymore, don't they not?
No.
That was for, do you know it was a brilliant game? Me and John were talking about it yesterday, actually. Sensible World of Soccer.
Oh, Sensei was brilliant, man. See, that's probably my first video game, man. It was fucking class, man.
The manager bit remember you used to be able to sign, like, you could go any team in the world You know what I mean? This is before Champ Manager and all of that came out. It's fucking dynamite, man. Brilliant.
You know what? Me and my mate used to sit and play, and we would absolutely lost days, just me and him sitting, smoking, carton shot, playing football, playing LMA Manager. Remember that?
Oh, mate, on the PlayStation 1.
Aye, mate. Fucking
tremendous.
Man. Honestly, that's one of the best games ever. Me and my mate, we'd always have a battle who was going to get to sign James Beattie.
I never, see, honestly, I wasn't a computer game boy when I was young. I remember playing Zelda on N64.
Oh,
but you know what? I used to get a cold arse playing it. I used to play it and get dead nervous, and my arse would go dead cold. So I stopped playing it. Can you relate to that? No.
No.
No?
Mate, why have you always got arse problems, man?
I don't know, mate, but I totally remember that. And do you know when I used to always get it? I know. I used to get it when I'd stun and look for magazines and John Menzies. I'd stun and my arse would get dead cold. I don't know why. 2 scenarios and I was away playing Zelda and picking a comic.
Was it the Legend of Zelda on the N64?
Aye.
They give you a cold arse.
Give me a cold arse.
The reason is he forgot to put his fucking trousers on. That's why he get flung out of John Menzies and all, or whatever the fuck it was.
I think it was a nerve thing. Do you know what I mean?
Sounds like it actually sounds like a serious problem.
I've been telling him for about a good few years now. You should go and see the doctor about his arse.
I've been for colonoscopies. I've had all that carrying on. I've had colonoscopies and stuff like
that.
Yeah.
Do you know what game absolutely blew my mind when it first came out, man? Remember when the first FIFA ever came out?
Aye.
It was a pure game changer, literally, man. It was
was, mate. 3D at FIFA International.
Tell you what.
Joey De La Sevilla was one of the best players in it.
Kevin Picknell and Brian Plank up front for Germany for some reason.
I tell you what, I do remember a game that I loved playing at my mate Colin Murphy's house. We'd play it to 3 in the morning. It was the road to World Cup 98. Remember that?
Oh, mate. That was tremendous.
I fucking loved that.
That was the one with Blur, wasn't it?
Aye.
The best one ever, but is Pro Evolution Soccer 5. Remember the one with Big Kalina on the cover?
Oh, aye.
That was fucking tremendous, that game, man.
You used to kick FIFA's arse, man.
Aye, big time, right up until FIFA 2008, I think it was.
Aye.
What was the game where I remember the first time you could fucking stick one on a goal and get sent off?
That was FIFA.
Was it FIFA?
Aye, FIFA International Soccer. You could slide tackle the goalie.
Aye, it was
sent off.
Aye.
Right, let's get to the listeners' trips. Barry says FIFA 97 was the indoor football. Shame FIFA have never brought it back. Volta mode isn't the same. I kind of agree with that. The Volta mode isn't the same. It's not the same as indoor football.
Scott says this is Football 2003. The career mode, you started with a school team. Owen Coyle was my star striker at 35. Then it went up to professional, had every player imaginable in it, and also had a 2-foot tackle/dive button. Sensational game.
That was a good game. This is football, so it was. It's a brilliant game. David Hoy says sensible soccer on the Mega Drive. Remember sitting for hours putting in all the right team names and players. Well, I know what the worst part was. Even when you started the game up again, it wouldn't save.
No,
remember, and you had to do it all again. That was brutal.
David says ISS 98 on the N64. Right.
That's a shout.
I actually thought the original ISS was better than 98, but...
Oh, they are, man. International Superstar Soccer. The first one on the N64 was the best.
It was. Deluxe.
Gavin says cross headers and volleys because we were outside and active and no stuck glued to the computer like kids are today. Other than that, it's got to be kick-off 2.
Kick-off 2. Kick-off 3 was good when they went 3D. Dave says match day 2 on the Spectrum was and still is awesome.
I had a ZX Spectrum. That was my first computer, man.
I was fancy. I had a +3. I had the disc drive, none of this tape shite for me.
Stephen says kick off in the Commodore 64, score an own goal, and it counted as a team goal.
That's right, I remember that.
That's fucking mental.
John says FIFA 07, days going up to my pal's house, a few intense games, and a good laugh. Those were the days.
I remember FIFA 7 actually. I remember that was the team. That was when McCulloch and all that, when the Rangers, Dartsville and all that. I remember getting an Xbox for Christmas. God, I was about my 20s, but when that sounds a bit fucking thing, me. But I did go on Xbox for my Christmas that year.
Tam says FIFA 2004, cracking soundtrack and Super Ali on commentary with John Motson.
Brilliant. Chris says, sensible world of soccer, so much time wasted in maths, English, chemistry, etc. Discussing your teams and transfers with the schoolmates. Maurizio Gans and Edelson, best football players ever. I take it's that the names.
By the way, do you know what? See, have you ever been playing Champ Manager or something like that and you've signed somebody you've never heard of, and then you've got this affinity for this football for the rest of your life?
Mate, that's so weird because who was it with mine, man? It was fucking Alan Kernaghan for St Johnson. I signed him for Rangers and I totally looked out for him all the time.
You know, me and my mates, when we played LMA Manager, me and my mates was always Shota Arveladze, and then Rangers signed him, and we were fucking buzzing, man.
That's mad. That's a cool story.
Amazing.
That's cool. I like that. He's brilliant.
Aye.
He's fucking brilliant, mate.
How do you know he's brilliant? Because he's fucking outstanding on LMA Manager.
I remember when Celtic were linked with Martin Palermo.
Honest
to God, man, you pure buzzed off it, didn't you? You'd never seen these players playing in real life. But if you get linked with a player that was good in Football Manager, you were like, oh, you beauty! William says, FIFA International Soccer when the ref chased you to book you. Remember you could run away from the ref?
That is.
That's funny,
ET says, Champ Manager 0102 season, some players. Stefan Slakovic was a gem. One for you, producer John. Mark Kerr was world class. I played him beside Patrick Vieira in my Champions League winning Rangers team. Set up Jardel for fun.
That's brilliant.
Mark Kerr was an absolute champ, man, legend. Remember when he moved? I remember when he moved to Ayr as manager. Like, there was a massive big things and all over like uni lad and all over the lad people because the champ man legend had become a manager. Brilliant.
It was honest to God, man. I know Mark, right, but I don't think I've had a conversation with him without mentioning Champ Manager, to be fucking honest with you.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
Let's welcome to Football Daft a man who won 2 league titles and a League Cup with Rangers. You're no nonsense central midfielder or centre half. He also played for the likes of Derby, Motherwell and Brisbane Roar. Please welcome back to the show the first ever guest to come on twice, current Celtic Hearts assistant Bob Malcolm. Bob, how you doing?
Not bad, mate, not bad. Why did you miss out the Scottish Cup there?
Well, I never wrote it. It's John. He's fucking stupid. He doesn't.
He's probably beat Falkirk in the final or something like that, and he didn't want to admit to it.
Why did you miss out the? Why did you miss out the treble? Winning the treble.
I know.
Do you want me to do it again then?
No, I don't want you to do it again.
Right, you're choking. You're desperate to say that to me because you said it on WhatsApp last night. What is it? I could probably end up doing with my chin.
Oh, your face.
You said something like my chin's getting that big. I could probably put it on my face and use it as a face mask or something like that. Anyway, if you keep asking what's happening, you're sitting in the booze and you get day off for the van today. Is it day off?
Mate, just a wee break, mate. A wee break.
All right. Is that a couple of non-alcohol pops?
It's a wee iron brew extra.
All right.
Yeah, Bob, since the last time you were on, mate, obviously you got the van and all that. Have you upgraded and got some flumps in your van now?
I have, mate. I've actually got pound bags of flumps now. So I've upgraded. Took your advice, wee man, and upgraded.
Yeah, what's actually, because this is what I wanted to find out, right? How does it work with vans during this lockdown, Kieran? Are you still allowed to go? Because I shifted down to Ardrossan when I started this lockdown. Started and there's no van there. I've not been to a van in about 7 or 8 months. There's protocols and stuff like that. Talk us through the process.
Aye, well, obviously the van in Ardrossan selling hash and stuff like that, so maybe that's why he's talking about
Council salad.
Allegedly. These are not the views of Football Daft.
10 pence mixture and a fucking bag of council salad.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know what the rules are. Obviously, there's food and that on, like pasta and noodles and that, so it gets on about the older ones that can't get to the shops.
Yeah, man, hold on, Bob. You've upgraded there, because the last time we were talking to you, all you said was hot dogs. So you've got fucking pasta and noodles and shit like that now?
Aye, pot noodles today. You man, you don't know what you're missing.
Is that right? So have you got a thing on the van that's just always got constant hot water and you can just make folk pot noodles and stuff like that?
Yep.
What's you sell a pot noodle for?
120 the price it.
That's all right. And what, you give the hot water for free and stuff like that, aye?
Aye, well, I get it from that, and so I get it from that now. Fuck's sake. Do you know, should you have to pay for your batter down in fucking Ardross and everything?
Fucking Bob Malcolm's a socialist, amazing.
Bob, what's happening with Kelty? What's going on there, man?
Oh, we had our first game last night. It's at Johnston in the Cup. The boys done well. That's the first competitive game of the season. Obviously, they've been playing for, I think they've 10 competitive games now. So just getting back into the way of things. Obviously, everything's still strange and raw for all the pandemic things, but it was good to get back and back playing competitive again.
Touching on that, Bob, the last time that you were on, you were coasting it, weren't you? You were doing really well, and then you get it kind of fucking ripped away for you because of the COVID. That must have been a kick in your balls, mate.
It was at the time, obviously. I think Barry's obviously said it as well, but we didn't want to win the league that way. But at the end of the day, we got fuck all out of it. We won the league, but you get nothing for it. There was no chance of promotion, so it was a league for no reason. So just basically cancelled the league, and that was it. But they handed it over. So listen, the club are happy with it. They've only been in the lower league for a couple of years now, and they've won the league. So it's a sour taste of it happened.
How's the club been, like, obviously through the whole pandemic? Was there any chance, at any point, you thought the club wasn't going to make it through the pandemic and all that? Is everything all right in the background with the club?
Aye, everyone's all right, mate. Obviously, like any other club at your sort of level, incomes with people coming through the gate, and obviously the bars and stuff, which we've not been getting. But the club, they do everything right. There's obviously with the furlough stuff, the players are still getting sorted out, so that's not been a problem. Obviously, if it keeps on going the way it's going, then we don't know what it's going to be like maybe 2 or 3 months down the line. So we're in the same boat as everybody else, mate, apart from the Premier League teams.
What do you think about your partner in crime, your tag team partner Barry? He's made the move to go radio as a weeknightly radio host. Is it something you've ever thought about doing yourself, Bob, getting into the media?
No, mate, that's...
You can just tell now that he's sitting there wanting to be anywhere else in the world. So imagine...
and Grado was asking it like a guy who thinks a lot of himself in the media, swinging on his chair. What do you think?
Try to plug his in your radio show, aren't he?
Aye.
Fucking go radio. You don't even get it on the channel in the fucking motor.
You do. You just can't fucking tune it in right. It's D.
What number is it?
It's no go to number. It's DAB. You go into DAB and you look for
Fuck
Go
off,
Radio.
Grado. You need a fucking Lamborghini to have one of them in your motor.
What are you doing?
One in my motor.
Right, Grado, ask Bob something that you've always wanted to ask him.
Right, what have I always wanted to ask you? Tell me about your first ever Old Firm game. And where was it? What was it like? Tell me, because obviously you were a Rangers fan all your days, big Rangers supporting family and stuff like that. Tell me about like the night before, the day of. What was that like? And have you ever been G'd up for a game as much as what it was like when you played in Old Firms?
Well, the night before we were in the hotel under Dick Advocate we stayed in the hotel in East Kilbride, and basically didn't have a clue that I was playing, didn't have any inkling, didn't think I would be playing, but I was in the squad, obviously delighted to be in my first Old Firm squad. And then it was actually my dad that phoned me and said to me, "Are you playing tomorrow?" And I said, "I think so, no." And he's like, I spoke to like one of the guys that goes to against Big Andy Smiley. He spoke to him, and I was like, "Well, how the fuck does he know?" So obviously Dick must have said to somebody, and it ended up getting back. So I don't know if that got out, but Dick Avocado ended up pulling me that night, saying to me, look, you'll be playing tomorrow, so get your mind on it and stuff. Then obviously I didn't fucking sleep much because I was up shit myself. Well, it was a semi-final of I think it was a League Cup at Hampden, so that was my first Old Firm game.
Was that the Conterman game?
No. It was, you know what game it was, you wee shite?
Tell me again, Bob. Tell me what game was it?
No, that was the one where Larson pushed me and I fell, remember?
I'm only joking, mate. I remember I was actually at that game.
Here, I've always wanted to know, Bob, has your ice cream van ever been involved in a road traffic accident and you've not been at fault?
Fuck's sake, who are you plugging now?
G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They can provide you with complete accident management support that you require. Now, Bob, if your ice cream van is involved in an accident, what G4 Claims will do is they're going to recover their costs from the at-fault party. They'll sort you out for a like-for-like vehicle replacement. I can't confirm if it will have a boiling water system, but I'm sure they'll try their best, so you can provide the pot noodles to the people of Glasgow. They're also going to organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and returned to you. So hopefully you'll be back in the streets as soon as possible. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, they're going to recover the pre-accident value for you and your ice cream van and write you a big fat cheque for it. And best of all, Bob, it's not going to cost you a penny, as they charge the at-fault insurance direct. Bob, let me tell you what G4 Claims. They don't cold call. They don't buy data. And once I've processed your claim, your insurance will remain unscathed. And the best thing is, Nicole and the team over there, they won't take on your case if they don't think they can help. So, Bob, and anybody else that's listening, any other ice cream vans, any other vehicles that are on the road, if you are struggling with a road traffic accident you've been involved in, or you know somebody that has, get onto G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them at notatfaultclaim.com or find them on social media. G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims, Not at Fault Claims.
Made easy.
Made easy.
Made easy.
Oh, sorry you had to be part of that there, mate. He just flung that on you, didn't he? Sorry, mate.
Aye. Never again.
Mate, if your ice cream van is in an accident, do you know what I mean? G4 Claims are good people to phone, mate.
Aye.
So, Bob, you went to Australia for a wee while, didn't you, to play for Brisbane?
I did, yes.
What was that like? What was that like? Was it amazing?
It was unbelievable. Wasn't it what I expected? Fuck's sake, Grado, man. Stop giving my secrets up.
What was that?
We were steaming most of the time, aye.
Aye, you've told me the stories.
Is Charlie Ball and play for them as well?
Aye, and I don't know if you remember we done it Seattle.
Oh, aye.
Well, that was the four that travelled in the car, so it was eventful. It was.
Craig Miller's been in the news quite a bit recently. He was over.
He's still here. I was with him this morning. He's still here.
What was you doing this morning? How's he getting on?
He's doing all right. He's doing all right.
When did he come here? I didn't even know that was allowed. He was allowed to travel and all that.
No, because he's for his work. He works as a agent or a player, whatever, representative. So he's allowed to travel for work.
Is that the same with Amoruso? Because I seen him at the Football Daft the weekend on the telly, and I was wondering as well, was that his game?
Is he here? I thought he was on fucking Love Island or something that big.
That's right.
He was on the Italian Love Island one.
So he was, that's right, aye.
Big chance he got. I probably got fucked in the first round.
The first round.
Listen, Grado, guys like me and Bob don't know how fucking Love Island works, mate, alright?
Listen, Love Island, I think the last couple of series are on Netflix. Get involved, mate. It's addictive. It's
Come
really,
on,
really
you
good.
turn that up, man.
Bob, you watch it, Chelsea, Bob. You don't know you're shaking your head at. You watch it too. We talk about it.
I watch it.
I sat next to Big Ammo for about 3 years, and trust me, I do not want to fucking see him on Love Island.
Right, so you went down to England and all. You played for Derby, and you played one game in the Premier League. How did that work out for you?
Well, not too good, because you get pumped, and then I never played again. No, we played.
It was Liverpool, wasn't it?
It was Liverpool when they had fucking not obviously as good as what they are now, but some team they had at that time, and they scalped us, to be fair.
Was he Gaffer playing for them at that time? Was Gerrard playing?
He was, but he wasn't playing that game. It was only Alonso and Mascherano played in that game.
Oh, is that all?
That's all.
Where were you playing? Were you playing centre mid or centre off?
Yeah, centre mid.
Against A2?
Against A2, aye. And they had Torres. Torres was up front.
Jesus, man.
See, you're talking there about coming up against a Liverpool team. Who is the toughest player you've ever played against? Where you've finished the game 90 minutes, went fuck, never again, man.
Toughest? What, you mean as in like?
Aye, like.
Who was the best player and the hardest player to play against?
Aye.
Probably Mascherano, because he never gave you a minute's peace. Even though they were battling us, they still, every time you got the ball, you felt as if you never had a pass on or whatever. I think they played the Inter Milan game with the Champions League. They were decent. Adriano and Obafemi Martins.
Adriano, remember him? He was just a big. He was like a pit bull, man.
So there's been a few, but Larsson's up there as well. He was the same. Wouldn't give you a minute's peace. Stan Petrov's the same.
Where did you prefer playing, centre mid or centre half?
I didn't bother, Bob, to be honest. I played in. I remember playing left back against Ross County one day. But I was just happy if I was getting a game. I played anywhere.
Actually, game. Do you know what I mean? There's not enough players like that. Fucking as long as they're playing a game, that's it, man. That's proper mentality.
See, to be honest, the game's changed so much. See, once you get Scott Brown. See, once he goes, the older generation's gone. And I don't know how long it's going to be until that would come back, because the game's totally different now.
Right. And the players have changed as well. The mentality of the young players and stuff like that. Are you the agreement that it's I'm not saying that it's soft, but you've got to watch what you're saying a lot of the time with the young players these days, innit? And you'll probably know that because obviously you and Barry are big characters, man. You're dealing with young players that are no used to the rough and tumble and getting told off and having words in their ears. You've got to probably watch what you're saying to them.
You do, mate. You do, but there comes a point where if you keep on saying the same thing to them all the time, then they're obviously not taking it on board. So sometimes you have to have a go at them. But, I think it's the way you come across to them. If you come across over the top, then they can fuck you off, and that's the reality. If you go over the top with them, then if it's for talking's sake, if you've got a player that's a big character in the dressing room, you have a go at them, they've got the power then to go and pick 3 or 4 of their mates, and then down tools.
Aye.
That's how
and
you
then
see.
You've got a big problem, then, haven't you, mate?
You have. And then that's when it spreads through the dressing room. And you see teams, that's why teams have a great season one season, then the next season they're struggling to stay in the league, because the dressing room changes. The manager brings in new players. The player that might have been doing well the last season doesn't get a game. And then it spreads through the team. The thing is, up here though, it's not the same up here as what it is in England. You've got kids in England who, we were talking about it this morning, there's guys that are playing in the Chelsea team. They're not playing in the Chelsea team, but they're going on loan to a team in Germany, a team in Holland, and they're on crazy money. And then they go, one of the boys, for example, I'll not say his name, but he's just went and he's signed for Bristol City, either there recently or else a couple of months ago, and he's having to take a wage cut. And he's never played a first team game for Chelsea. So how does that work? It's crazy. Do you know what I mean? He's going to play in a first team, he's having to take and it's not just as if it's like £1,000 or £2,000. It's a lot of money that he's taking per week as a pay cut. So it's crazy the money that they can throw at it. And that's why players don't give a shit. If you're getting £100,000 a week and not playing, are you going to bother?
And that's what I've always wondered as well. A lot of these young players.
That's how things like, I don't know, like Rangers being linked with Jack Wilshere, right? A player like him, as an example, if at a very young age, he's been earning top coin, hasn't he? So you then question his hunger for the game or his desire to even prove himself anywhere, because he's 28 now, he's still got a lot of football left to play if he can keep fit, but does he want to do it? Do you know what I mean? Has he got a hunger anywhere? Do you know what I mean? Like, the money
he's come out and had a statement saying that he's been fit for 8 months or a year, and he's just David Moyes never fancied him. That's the way things go. But if the manager's the fancy and doesn't play you, then there's not really much you can do about it. You can only try and prove yourself in training to get back any slots. But
would you take him at Rangers then?
If he's been fit for the last 8 months, then I think anybody that would get him would be lucky. But you don't have to go out as in who's going to take that chance that he could come up. You give him big money and then he falls down, breaks down after a week. I think there would need to be some sort of structure in place that I don't know if it had the pay as you play. I don't know if I've never really had any players been on that sort of deal, but maybe he would go for it because he's been injured for a certain amount of years or whatever. But listen, the boy doesn't need the money, so
exactly.
If he wants to just get back to football, then why not?
It's a great opportunity for him. What do you think this season, Bob? How do you think the team's been playing? What do you think? Have you seen much of Rangers playing this season?
I have. I've seen a few games. It's the usual, mate. It's a good 1 week. Then obviously the Livingston game, they were only great. And they go and play in Europe and they're brilliant. And then they come back to play. Who was it? A couple of weeks ago.
Lost count.
Well, why that was last week, innit? Rubbish. But look, listen, I understand because I've been involved in that sort of thing myself. When you go away, the highs of the European games, then you come back to play one of the teams that are going to be fighting at the bottom of the league. They're hard enough to play at the best of times, but coming back to a European games a wee bit. You see Celtic as well. They've been struggling. They struggled on Sunday, against St Johnson, and then also the 2 changes get them the win. So it's the way it is. It's hard to go for a high to then coming back playing against one of the bottom teams.
Who was the highlight your Motherwell career, Bob? Quite turning sharp in the back then.
I think probably it was sad at the time. Obviously, Phil O'Donnell passed away. And,
that's right, you were there, weren't you?
Well, I wasn't there at the time. I came and Phil O'Donnell, he'd passed away, and then I came just after that. But for the squad to get over that, what happened, and then push and get to play in Europe the following season was incredible for me. Because don't forget that there's a lot of young boys. Paul Quinn, David Clarkson, who was followed by his nephew, Stevie Hamill, all these lads who were still only early mid-20s, felt it because they grew up with Phil. Phil was one of their pals and a mentor to most of them. So for them to overcome that and push on, and I think they finished third that season. I think it was the last game of the season, the last home game they played against Aberdeen, and normally you only ever see Motherwell Stadium full when the home come. But the chairman at the time, John Bell, I think he was charging, it was a £5 for a ticket or something, and it was against Aberdeen. I think whoever won that game finished third and went to Europe, and I think we ended up winning. I think it was 2-0. But the atmosphere was unbelievable. See, because the stadium was full, and I'm thinking, why is this not happening all the time? But it's obviously it's no fair on the season bookholders who go and pay the full price, and then you can't charge somebody a £5. But what if the seats are sitting empty? Why not give them to school kids? Get people back in the grounds.
It's funny you say that. I remember that season, right? Because you played Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup, and we all went to see my mate because Ricky Little was playing for Queen's Park, and my mate.
Ricky Little, your mate, Grado?
Ricky Little gets mentioned every fucking week on this show, man. He's the new Gary Polini.
He's the new Gary Polini, he is.
Drop it. Anyway, what I'm saying
is... Because my mate, Ricky Little, he was playing.
Our Rove star, Ricky Little, we all went to watch him, and my mate had a snidey £20 note, and he gave it to, it was a £5 again, so he get fucking £15 and change back with real money.
Absolutely built to that story, mate. That's a fucking built to that story, man.
See, to be fair, I thought there was something coming with G4 there. They gave you your money back because it was snide money.
If you've ever been given some
sort of plug.
But I do remember that season because that game was a 5 or 2, so it was.
I bet you never played.
What was it like, team you played with Motherwell? What was it like facing Rangers? How did that make?
That's a good question, Bob.
It was brilliant. I can remember the first game at Ibrox. Obviously, you get comps. The players get comps for the games. So I was like to my dad, right, I've got a couple of comps. He's like, I'm not gone. What do you mean you're not gone? He's like, I'm not gone because you'll just get pebbles. I'm like, fucking shut up and grow up, man. He's like, I'm not gone. He never went, so my mind ended up gone with my uncle. And it was a game, it was a time when Rangers were gone for they got to the Europa League final.
Aye.
So there was game after game after game. And we were struggling, to be fair. We should have been probably a couple of goals up at half time, but it ended up nothing each at half time. And we were all over them. And yeah, I can remember having a wee spat with Kurt Broadfoot on the touchline, just around about the halfway line at the Govan. And so I'm having a wee ding dong, and all the fans aren't saying much, but then I just hear this guy shouting, "How the fuck did you not do that for us, Malcolm?" I was like, "Are you fucking having a laugh?" But that was good, but it was good. It was just because it was just one guy just stood up and everyone was quiet. But
you must have felt surreal, but when against Rangers, because you were just obviously Rangers what you've always known, mate. You know what I mean?
Aye. Look, it was actually funny because later on that night, we get beat 1-0 and Rangers scored like halfway through the second half, but we blew a gasket. We ran out of energy and stuff, and I can remember going to one up after it for a couple of drinks. It was a midweek game, it was a Tuesday or Wednesday night, so we went in for a couple of drinks into one up, and Neil Lennon was sitting there, and I don't know if he was having a laugh at me or a joke, whatever, but he said to me, "Cheers for throwing that game in." And I'm like, "You fucking wind us up." And me and him ended up having an argument at the bar, just through something stupid. And I'm like, "Fucking hell, what's happening here?" But it's one of the that's just what you get back in the day. It was a laugh.
Having a fight with Neil Lennon at the bar, and somebody from the other side of the bar shouts, "How did you not do that? You played for us, Malcolm."
That wasn't a fight. It was just a wee argument.
Can you beat him in a fight, Bob?
The what?
Can you beat him in a fight?
No doubt.
Oh, hey, what we were saying, because that'll end up in the fucking sun or something.
Aye,
sorry, watch that.
Shouldn't have asked you that one.
I beat Neil Lennon up in the pub and all that. We'll get fucking twisted. Do you miss your he is a good guy, by the way. He is a good guy. We spoke about this before.
Don't worry, you don't need to cover yourself.
No, I swear to God. Because what I've noticed when you go to Neil Lennon, you have a banter with him, and it's just, do you know what I mean? It's just what you would do with your pals that support the other team, to be honest with you. But are you missing, what I might know is, are you missing these wee kind of charity games and that, Bob, catching up with your likes, your Andy Gorhams and that? Do you miss them?
I miss catching up with the boys. I don't miss running about for the 90 minutes right enough, but I miss the banter in the change room. It's always a good laugh.
Aye.
No, when you're playing right enough because you're fucking shit, but
I know, and it's intimidating you because you take it too serious in my opinion. As I say, I'm there to.
That's it.
You say that for every football game.
What about the time he was through goal, remember he stripped to his own shoelace or something?
He fell at his left foot.
Fell at his chin.
That was horrible. That was fucking horrible, man.
It was on a plate for you right through. It opened up like the fucking Red Sea, and you went right through and going for it. Fucking.
The boys letting him try to give him a chance at shoot at goal, and he's fucking awesome.
And it's not as if it was at one of the games.
That's what you get for playing with a pair of Adidas Sambas on.
The best it wasn't it one of the fucking games at Darvel where fucking Muir Kirkham was at Ibrox? Devastated.
Yeah. You can say you scored a goal at Ibrox, mate. You know what I mean?
I know I can, but well, it's good footage on it. Anyway, we're going to our questions.
Aye. Right, Bo, as you know, you've been on the show before. We did put our guest football knowledge to the test with a 90-second quiz, and since the last time you were on, we've got a new leader on the board. It's John Sutton. He's on 15. We've got Mark Wilson and Keith Lasley tucked in behind him. No, he's not. Mark Wilson and Keith Lasley tucked in behind him with 14. The good Dr. Kenny Duker and Kevin Harper on 13. And at the bottom is the strongest man in Scottish football, Falkirk manager David McCracken. He's still at the bottom, and I think he'll always be at the bottom of this league with one. Right?
One? Fuck's sake.
Get one, right? So
I just need to beat one.
No, the last time you done it, you get 6.
Aye, that's because you were asking me shit questions.
Aye, but listen, you've got a chance to redeem yourself now, my man.
Aye.
You get a chance to redeem yourself.
You ready to answer the questions, Chris?
I'm ready to ask these motherfucking questions, bro. Right, you ready, Bob?
I'm ready, mate.
You got enough quiet in there.
I can hear you.
Enough quiet. Excuse me, I'm doing a quiz.
Sorry, I had loads of alarms to line.
Alarms to line.
First question, your time starts now. Who are the other two teams in Scotland's Nation League group? Israel and the Czech Republic.
You've read the answers, you motherfucker.
Israel and the Czech Republic.
Right, start again. I apologise.
Fuck's sake, Paul.
Alongside Israel, who is the other team in Scotland's National League group? What Highland League team's second name is Mechanics?
Fours.
Aston Villa have just signed which midfielder from Chelsea?
Ross Bartley.
What year were you caretaker manager at Clyde?
2014.
Who is Wales' all-time leading scorer?
Dean Rush.
Dick Campbell is the manager of which team?
Both.
The Buffs are the nickname of which junior side?
Co-winning Rangers.
What was the score in your only English Premier League appearance?
4-0.
Who is Celtic's most expensive signing?
Edward.
What club did St Mirren sign Kyle McGuinness? Which club did St Mirren's Kyle McGuinness join?
Hibs.
Who scored Manchester United's only goal in their 6-1 defeat to Spurs?
Don't know.
What's a flump?
Marshmallow.
Rangers midfielder Bongani Zungu has joined them on loan from which French club?
Amiens.
Which team's ground was once famously located next to a toffee factory?
Fuck knows.
Ray McKinnon is the current manager of which Scottish team?
Queen's Park.
How many goals did you score for Rangers?
3.
What was your win percentage as Clyde manager?
Oh, you done well there, Bob. Done well, mate.
You can answer that last one if you want, mate.
Win percentage when at Clyde?
Aye.
65%.
Right, okay. Okay, Bob.
So, let's under the 2 seconds.
John, I think you've done pretty well there, mate, to be honest with you.
Right, we'll go through the wrong answers, Bob. Caretaker manager at Clyde
2017, was it?
2017, aye. Gareth Bale's the Welsh all-time leading scorer. Now, I've got this written down as Liverpool beat you 6-0, Bob. You think it was 4-0?
I must have just got took off at 4-0.
Bruno Fernandes scored Man United's only goal in their 6-1 defeat. We always have a Sterrismuir question in the quiz, and that's the team whose ground was once famously located next to a toffee factory. Aside from that, mate, you got everything correct. I think you're on level with Barry. I think you've got 12.
Oh,
yes.
There you go. Mate, do you know what I love about how we do these quizzes, right, and all that, and it's like folk get dead nervous, and it's all folk like, oh, I can't think and all that. The question is, goes, fuck knows.
Bob, thanks again, mate. We'll probably get you into a hat trick at some point, my man, right?
Right.
No worries.
Bob, I'm really sorry that Grado was a fucking tit and made you wait for an hour and a half, mate.
I know.
Fucking, it was Chelsea Bob's fault.
How's it my
fault? Fuck, it was my fault. Sorry, apologies.
Great, I hope you go over that bout at elephantitis soon, mate, right? Keep up the chin.
Come on. Cheers, man.
Cheers, Bob.
Bye.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
I enjoyed myself last week, lads. Did you? What do you reckon?
I did. It was good to see Big Bob back.
It was.
Feels like part of the Football Daft family, didn't he? He's part of his, isn't he? Big Bob, isn't he?
He was saying that he was missing me. You know, but nah, he's a great big guy. He's good patter, funny, absolutely ladles into Grado, and that to me, that's a string to MDs, Bo. What do you reckon,
Bob
Stevie?
and all, man, he fucking has a go at him as well. At least, as you say, boy, he never got me chicken tits this time. It's quite. Must just keep that for Twitter.
What about Sean? Sean was good in the Legends
Sean
Lottery.
was good. Sean was good.
Aye,
Looking
very
forward
good.
to see
I think he was terrible, in fact. Grado, do you not think he was terrible? I thought he was shite.
Red rotten.
Who's on the Legends Lottery next week?
Me.
It's Grado.
Grado's going to go into second place, man.
I can't wait. I'm actually looking forward to this. I know I'll probably end up forgetting about it until 5 minutes to the.
Aye, but I'll tell you what, I've already got my next one lined up if they don't cancel on me.
I tell you what, rather than the big, we usually do the Big Brother story, but we've not got the time for it. I would like to hear more of Tam O'Shanter to get us out of the show, I think, Grado. I think that's a good way to finish the show on a high. We've had Bob Malcolm, we've had Sean.
I enjoyed what I heard at the beginning.
Gentle dames, it gars me greet to think how many counsels sweet, how mony limpet sage advices the husband frae the wife despises, but to your taily market nicht, Tam would get planted uncorrect. Fast be an angle, pleasing finely, where he made swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient trusty drooty crony, Tam louding like a very brother, they'd been food for weeks together. The night drave on with songs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with favours sweet, secret and precious. The land... Oh, I've read that bit. Oh, Daisy.
That's brilliant, mate. I really like that, by the way.
Audio Frontier.